Hey, what's going on? Coach Chris, Team Critical Bench, Powerhouse Gym, Tampa, Florida. Loving it here with my friend Vince DelMonte. You know that face. We just had him on recently. We were talking about a great muscle building tip. Today what we're going to do is we're going to go in a different direction and talk about some nutrition. And Vince knows about nutrition.
Yeah, we talked about training last time. Today we're going to talk about my number one tip on how to build muscle without fat. I think every guy out there, whether you've been training for a year, 10 years, you guys want to build muscle, but you want to minimize the fat gains. You want to maximize your muscle to fat ratio when you're going on the scale, right? That goes for me, probably goes for you too, right? So, two words for you guys, write this down. Cyclical bulking, all right? Cyclical bulking. So this is a concept that I didn't invent. It's something that I studied and I learned a lot about, and I've really made my own. And it's basically the combination of mini bulking periods and mini cutting periods. So the traditional form of bulking is what? If you look at a lot of the classic bodybuilders in the 70s, 80s, the traditional approach was to bulk, and go to a point where you almost get fat,
right?
And you gain so much weight that you have to spend 4 to 6 months cutting off all the excess fat, and in the process it becomes a very stressful process. You sometimes end up losing all the muscle near the end that you gained in the first place. So it's not a really practical way to live. Most people don't want to get fat. Most guys want to stay fairly lean throughout the course of the year. And there's certainly a time and place for that kind of bulking approach. I'm not saying that's a wrong approach, but I found that this is a more effective approach. So instead of bulking for say 6 months and then cutting for 4 months, we're gonna say bulk for 6 weeks and then cut for 2 weeks. Bulk for 6 weeks, cut for 2 weeks. That way our body fat never goes more than 14, 15% body fat. We can always see our top 4 abs. That's actually a good thing. You guys want to write this down. When you're bulking, you always want to maintain sight of your top 4 abs. All right? No matter what. If you can't see your top 4 abs, you're getting sloppy with your nutrition. You got to pull back your calories or start doing a bit more cardio.
I know how hard it is for me to see my top 4 abs.
Right.
So,
a lot of guys make a huge mistake and they develop the attitude of, I'm in bulking mode, and then they get lazy because just not thinking about your nutrition and just thinking more and more calories is going to help you grow faster. That's not the way it works. 7,000 calories isn't going to make you grow faster than 4,000 calories. It's just going to make you fatter. So here's what cyclical bulking is all about. It's about shorter bulking periods and then shorter cutting cycles. Mentally, guys can get into that too. They're like, oh, I only have to bulk for 6 weeks and then cut for 2 weeks. I can do that. But to think about cutting for 4 months, holy crap.
Yeah, no,
most people,
it's way too long, and typically most of us, we want results fast.
Right.
And we're quick to throw in the towel on stuff when it becomes becomes too hard.
Yeah, and there's some really powerful hormonal things that happen with this approach. So when you pile on the calories for a shorter period of time, you really raise your anabolic hormones and you really get your metabolism pumping, right? So then when you pull back your calories for the cutting phase, so you've bulked up for let's say 6 weeks, and you've ramped up your anabolic hormones, you've ramped up your metabolism, and then you cut for 2 weeks and you pull your calories back drastically, your metabolism is still on overdrive. So you're burning a lot of fat, extra fat, during that cutting period from the combination of pulling your calories back, but from also having your anabolic hormones and your metabolism so revved up. And then you repeat that. So it's bulk, cut. So we're taking big bulking cycles and turning them into mini bulking cycles, and same with the cutting approach. So
and our audience is slightly familiar with this overfeeding, underfeeding.
Right,
we
I think you guys have a program.
Before,
Okay, great.
But this is a variation certainly of that, and it's proven scientifically to work.
There's a lot of good
what
research.
Vince is saying is definitely the steps you should take if you're wanting to gain lean mass.
Yeah, I don't want to see you guys bulk and get so fat that you're it doesn't even look like you work out, right? And I don't want you guys to cut for so long that it looks like, you're a long distance runner, right? So this is kind of like a balance. It's going to allow you to maintain good muscularity while growing, while also maintaining a good tight waistline, nice shoulder to hip ratio. So you've got that nice lean athletic look that, every guy wants, every girl, takes a second look at, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So cyclical bulking, there's a lot of different ways to go about it, different lengths of cutting and bulking cycles if you talk to different guys. It's really a trial and error thing. I know you guys have an approach. We have an approach as well.
Yep.
But the concept remains the same. The science, the principles remain the same.
Yeah. it's just great to hear from another guy in the fitness community that's well respected, that this type of approach to your nutrition is really what you need to do to get to that next step.
Cyclical bulk is where it's at.
Yeah, it's where it's at. And check some links below. We'll throw some ways for you to check out Vince, because Vince has an amazing YouTube channel himself, as well as countless other things, and we thank him so much for joining the team here at Critical Bench in downtown Tampa, enjoying the weather, like we said.
Big time,
man. And thanks again, and we'll see you again really soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you guys for having me and paying attention. Thank you.
Yeah.